Hi all, Assalamu alaikum and welcome to the first A-level chemistry Telikilaas. I am George Jose from Addu High School. Today I would be giving a brief introduction about A-level chemistry. We are not going to discuss any chemistry content part today. At the end of the session, I believe student will be able to identify and use the important documents that are necessary for A-level throughout these 2 years. So let's start with the most basic and very important document, which is specification. Specification gives us a detailed idea about structure of the course, chemistry content part, and idea about assessment and approach, as well as many other important information. So let's start with the first one, structure. IAL, International Advanced Level in Chemistry, contains total 6 units. Unit 1, 2 and 3 in grade 11, which is called as IAS. Unit 4, 5 and 6 will be in grade 12, which is known as IA2. These are the unit codes given for each unit. Refer to these unit codes whenever you practice a past paper. You may find only a few past paper with these unit codes, because this specification is very new, which was introduced only in 2018. But you can refer to the past papers of previous specification also. But be very careful when you practice those past papers, because there may be some terminologies or topics which may be removed or replaced. So refer to the specification whenever you use those past papers. As I already mentioned, there will be 3 externally assessed written paper in IAS as well as in IA2. IAS and IAL are modular qualification. That means after completing unit 1 to 3, student can claim IAS, and after completing all the 6 units, that means the 3 units from IAS and the 3 units from IA2, students can claim IAL. The content part. The chemistry content part covers major topics including core principles and their application, experimental skills, rate, equilibria, organic chemistry, transition metal and organic nitrogen chemistry over these 2 years. So these are the 3 units that we have to study in grade 11, which is unit 1, structure, bonding and introduction to organic chemistry. Unit 2, energetics, group chemistry, halogenoalkanes and alcohol, and last, practical skills in chemistry 1. So there will be 3 exams you will be sitting for in grade 11. Unit 1, 2 and 3. Unit 1 and 2 are for 1 hour 30 minutes with a total of 80 marks. Unit 3, the total time will be 1 hour 20 minutes and marks 50. 40% of unit 1 plus 40% of unit 2 and 20% of unit 3 makes the total mark in IAS. The exam papers except unit 3 and 6 are divided into different sections. Section A will be multiple choice questions for 20 marks. In O-level, there was a separate paper for MCQ, but here MCQ will be along with unit 1, 2, 4 and 5. Section B contains a mixture of short answer, calculations and extended writing questions. Section C contains contemporary context questions, that means questions in unfamiliar context or evaluation of given data, that type of questions in section C. There are a number of assessment objectives, as you can see, AO1, AO2, AO3. Don't worry, simply speaking, you can expect different levels of questions. That means understanding level questions, application level questions, analysis level questions, and questions assessing experimental skills. The understanding level questions covers 32 to 34% in A-level chemistry. More weightage is given for application level questions. You can see 33 to 36%. Then comes the analysis level question, which means you have to process, evaluate and analyze scientific informations or given data to reach conclusion. These application level questions can be from familiar or unfamiliar context. That this is why it is very important to have a thorough knowledge of the content and a lot of practice in order to attend application level and analysis level questions. I already mentioned about the total marks of unit 1, 2 and 3. It was 80, 80 and 50. But the raw marks will be converted into uniform marks of 120 and 60. If you score 80%, that means 96 out of 120, you can score A. 70% will be B, 60% will be C, and so on. In AS level, you are attending all these 3 units. That means the total mark will be 120 plus 120, 240 plus 60, 300 for all the 3 units. So in IAS, you will be attending 3 units, 1, 2 and 3. So total mark will be 120 plus 120, 240 plus 60, 300. So in IAS, if you score 240 out of 300, you can score A. That means 80%. In IAS, there will not be A star. For IAL, the total mark is 600. That means 300 for IAS and 300 for IA2. In IAL, if you score 480 out of 600, you can get an A. To get an A star, student will need to achieve minimum 90% in IA2. That means for unit 4, 5 and 6, a student should get 90%. That means 270 marks out of 300 and a total of 480 out of 600. That means even if you get 210 marks in IAS, that means a B, you can still get an A star in IAL. There are 16 core practicals mentioned in specification along with further suggested practicals. All about these practicals, including the apparatus, procedures and other details, will be given in student practical guide or lab book which you will be provided with. So experimental skills will be tested separately in unit 3 and 6, which is almost similar to the alternative to practical in O level. In these 2 are written examinations. In unit 3, The contents cover practical works in Unit 1 and 2. The contents of Unit 6 will be based on the experiments and investigations in Unit 4 and 5. Approach. Students develop their knowledge in chemistry by applying the concepts that we learn in different range of questions in a variety of context, including familiar context and unfamiliar context. Also, student will need to develop and apply practical skills and mathematical skills. Talking about mathematical skills, in A-level chemistry, a minimum of 20% of the marks targets mathematical skills. There is an additional document in order to practice and develop mathematical skills, which is student mathematics support. There will be a lot of practice questions in student mathematical supports. Then the practical skills. As I already mentioned, practical skills will be tested separately in Unit 3 and 6. Practical skills include planning, selection of suitable apparatus with reason, including risk management, that means identifying the risk and methods to reduce this risk, along with processing and analyzing this data, calculation and plotting graphs. Another important information that we can get from the specification is command words. Command words includes describe, explain, sketch, state, etc. What is the importance of these command words? Command words indicates the nature of the answer that is expected. So, according to the command words only, IAL people makes the marking schemes. So, it is very important to frame your answer according to the command words. This is how part of an exam paper looks like. You can see here, candidates must have scientific calculator, data booklet and ruler. You know what is scientific calculator and ruler. So, let us check what is data booklet. In exam paper, there may be some questions that require information from the data booklet. Like, for example, there is a titration question asking you to write the endpoint in which they have used an indicator named thiamol blue. So, you might not be very familiar with that indicator. You can refer to the data booklet in order to get the color change in the endpoint. Data booklet will be provided along with Unit 2, 4 and 5 exam papers. Then the student book. This is the student book 1, which is for IAS. There will be one more book, student book 2, which is for IA2. As we are focusing only on IAS here, I included only student book 1. So, let me conclude. These are the important documents that we have discussed today. First one is specification, which gives us information about the structure of the course, chemistry content and assessment information. Then the supporting documents in order to practice and develop mathematical skills and practical skills. Then the fourth one is data booklet, which will be provided along with the exam paper. Last one is student book. So, specification Student mathematical support and data booklet you can download from Pearson edXL site. Student book and student practical guide will be provided for each student from school. There are some links to download the important documents like specification. That's all for today. Thank you and stay safe.